Hi, my wonderful bumblebees. It's Ethany. Welcome back to my channel. Or hello if you're brand new here. And a big, warm, queer, gay, LGBTQ+ welcome to all of my community who are a part of the Alphabet Mafia celebrating Pride this month. And I am almost late to the party, but I got here. So I'm sharing with you today 12 decks that will help you celebrate your Pride experience, celebrate who you are, and also a collection of 12 tarot decks that celebrate inclusivity, visibility, diversity, and representation in our community. I have wanted to do this for so long. I've had this on my list for years, and I finally got around to filming it, and I'm so glad to have this here for you this Pride. I have also created a brand new Pride Self-Love and Acceptance Tarot spread, so you can get your favorite deck that you have at home, or if you have one of these decks, you can use that. Or if you're going to get a new one for Pride, because why not celebrate with a new tarot deck, you can use this spread to help you step into a path and a way of being that is about your self-love and acceptance. While Pride is now seen as a time of lots of parties and parades and drag brunches and all that fabulousness and festivals, remember that this is a time of fierce advocacy. This is a time, and especially now, I mean, who would have thought that this would just be so poignant in 2025? Are we living the Handmaid's Tale yet? I mean, for goodness sake, that this was a resistance protest born from the Stonewall Uprising in 1969. If you are an ally, if you are a part of our community, if you have a loved one who is a part of our community, please take some time to learn about the Stonewall Uprising and how important it is still to this day to be supporting and being there for our queer community, our brothers, our sisters, our mothers, our friends, our lovers, our children, because we need to stick together so much now. So if you don't know, go do some homework on Stonewall. I'm about to share with you some of the decks that I put together for this list. If you go to the description box, you can find where to get all of these decks. You will also find a link to my blog post where I have the list of the decks as well, but also the tarot spread. And there's also some international and local agencies and places that you can call if you need support, if you are a part of our community. So without further ado, let's jump into these incredible tarot decks. I'm going to attempt to do the fan thwack. Ready? No, that was bad. This holographic dream of a tarot deck is the Black Salt Tarot by Logan at Lark and Legend. And it is just such a shiny, wonderful, incredible little deck. And it comes with a beautiful box and lots of information in the guidebook. I have a video of all of the decks from Logan on my channel from Lark and Legend, so go and check it out. This is a beautiful black and sparkly deck. Isn't it gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful with the reflection in the cards, the symbols, and look at these locks being unlocked. And I mentioned this when I did the unboxing and walkthrough and the first impressions. There's a lot of symbolism and small details in this deck, even though I'm not a huge minimalistic kind of deck. I really enjoy this. So there's two fortitudes just in case you want to use the Thoth numbers or the Rider-Waite-Smith numbers. I adore everything that Logan does. We have very similar interests, like the skulls. Oh, it's just so fun. It's a wonderful deck too because we have no people in it. So if you are reading for, just so gorgeous, if you're reading for clients or customers at an event, or I love this second justice card too. Maybe we need to bring back the guillotine, just saying. See here we have these more like gamer avatars, which I really adore. People tend to be really drawn to this, especially because it's lovely and sparkly, and who doesn't love a sparkly deck? Just gorgeous. Had to include one of Logan's incredible pieces of work with little birdies and the little, just so clever. The shattered pentacles in this one. You can tell a lot of work went into this. Let me see if I can find. So there's the Queen, a Knight, just gorgeous. So that is the Black Salt Tarot. Look at that King. Gorgeous. This is one of the most beautiful decks I have ever seen and have ever been lucky enough to have in my collection. It is the Tarot of the Divine Masculine, and it's by Vasek and Vasek. Hopefully I'm saying this correctly. And I have the big, beautiful book that goes with it. And it just has all of the information about the art. And it is like a visual feast of this incredible work. It is so gorgeous that even when I was going through the deck today to make sure everything was upright, because I work with a lot of these decks, so they're all squiggly, I took a moment to just appreciate how beautiful this deck is. The frickin' detail in this work is spectacular. Nothing short of masterpieces on every single card. I love the borders. I love the symbols. I love everything about it. I love that we've got these little glyphs here too, which are for the creators. I mean, look at this deck. So just because it's the Tarot of the Divine Masculine doesn't mean that there aren't feminine or feminine presenting people in it. But what is so lovely is that the divine masculine in all of us and in general also needs to be healed, because we're seeing what happens when it's not in the world. That's the toxic, I don't like to say toxic masculinity. It's just shitty behavior, but I guess it is toxic masculinity. It's the patriarchal suppression of people, because it's all lies. There are so many mythologies around the world with, you know, like the wounded kingfisher, there is a need to understand the duality and complexities in all of us. And I mean, look, that looks like a freaking sunset. Like, hopefully the camera is showing you how beautiful this is, the depth of these cards. But when we heal this in ourselves, we break the requirements and the chains of having to be something we're not. And when we heal any part of ourselves, we start to heal that down our, you know, ancestral line and for the people around us. I cannot say enough about this deck. I think it is just stunning. And it's one of the very first decks that I think of when I think of decks for queer inclusivity, for pride, because I think there's something, look at this death card. I think there's something in this for everybody. And the detail, like there's butterflies down here. There's all of the plants. Look at these little guys here. We've got crows. There's, and then oh, it's just the most beautiful deck. So if you have not seen this before, oh, geez. Oh, it's like a little Tarzan. If you haven't seen this deck before, then I'm glad I can introduce it to you. Look at this Ace of Cups. But if you have, and you haven't brought it out in a while, maybe you should, but it is simply, it really is divine. It really, really is divine. So this is the Tarot of the Divine Masculine, a masterpiece of work and incredible inclusive deck. The Gentle Tarot by Mari from Mari in the Sky is so gorgeous. I have 3 editions of this deck, and this is, oh, I think this is the, oh, I can't remember. Yeah, this is the linen edition. I have a tinned edition and I have the regular one and I have the book, but I just moved a bunch of stuff, so I spent like 40 minutes trying to find it, and then I gave up because I've got other things that I need to do, like work. This is a celebration of queer Indigenous art, of connecting to ourselves, to the spirit of the elements, to our ancestors, to Mother Earth and Father Sky. And it is just sublime. I love the linen finish. Pretty sure most people know of the Gentle Tarot. It's a very popular deck, and the first elemental companion, My Friend Fire, is coming out soon, which is an oracle deck. I have the stickers for this. I've got prints in my living space of Mari's artwork. I love, 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 love. I wish I knew what I freaking did with the book though. I've been using this for my own practice, and I moved a whole bunch of stuff in my bedroom, so I have a feeling it's like somewhere in all that mess, so I'll have to go and find it. But I do recommend that if you do get this deck, to purchase the guidebook separate. It's a beautiful big workbook guidebook. It's stunning. As you can see, this is a body positive, inclusive, so cute deck. Lots of animals reminding us that we are a part of nature. It is so perfect for Pride, and also just for every day. I mean, as I said, I've been using this for my own readings for myself, because it really is something that gets me to connect with my body, which, as someone with an overactive mind and ADHD and having a lot going on, it's really important. I think if anyone is looking to heal aspects of themselves, their community, their connection to their sensuality, sacredness, their ancestry, this is the perfect deck, and I can't recommend it enough. I love humpback whales for Pride, but I can't recommend it enough in general. So this is just one of the editions of the Gentle Tarot, and it is absolutely on my recommend for Pride. Everything about the Rainbow Tarot makes me happy. The holographic foiling, the rainbows, just everything. So this is a one-of-a-kind, so an original take on the time-honored divination tool where magical queer figures from the major and minor arcana burst with emotion and energy. So this is written by Sari Jarrell Johnson, and then Solazzo's artwork. So this is just gorgeous. This is the mass market edition from Chronicle Books. I have both. I have the mass market and the indie, and love this guidebook full of lots of goodies. Look at these backs. These backs are so cute. Holographic edging. I know from doing this for my own deck, this doesn't tend to stay on great. Now this is still in order because I just swapped over my deck of this from mass market from indie. So I was using my indie deck and now I have got this one. I put that one away so that it doesn't get wrecked. Now what I have noticed is whoever printed this did not let the ink dry, because you can see here we've got all these scuff marks from the printing, but that's not the creator's fault. That's not anyone's fault but production. But this came from the bookstore like this, so it'd be interesting to see if anybody else had this issue. I adore the snot out of this deck. It is so pretty. I love that it's just every single card is so colorful and different, that you have this entire color scheme of inspiration and beauty on each one. And as someone who works with the Aurosoma Tarot, as someone who does Aurosoma readings, I love that because it really, you know, allows you to tell a story with the colors in the deck. And it's also just like super beautiful. I mean, who doesn't want a rainbow deck in their amazing queer time of the year? It's a queer time of the year, although if you're queer, it's like it's a queer time of the year all the time. I love how surprised she looks. She's like, oh, I am bamboozled. It's so great. I adore this deck so much. Like, I want an outfit based on every color palette in this deck, because I love the mixtures and how everything is done. It's such a great study in color theory as well, and the artwork is so whimsical and so badass and modern and fun. So yeah, I adore this deck. I think it's perfect. I think you can read with it no matter how old you are. Super easy to read, but it doesn't trap you into, you know, the ultra traditional stuff, because of the color. It can also tell you a story as well as the images. So this is the Rainbow Tarot, and I love it for my rainbow peeps. Another very clear queer deck, the Queer Tarot. This is a deck that I only got last year, and I actually meant to do this video last year and then things got a little bit wild, so I didn't. It is so fun. It's mass market. It has boxes in boxes. I'm not always a fan of boxes in boxes, but I guess it's like to make sure things don't fall out. And then we have a beautifully bold colored book. Hopefully the neon doesn't hurt too many eyes. I know some people get very sensitive with that. Love the checkered back. I think it's a little wider than a standard deck. Maybe it's the same. It's a little wider, but that's okay. We love a thick and juicy, don't we? Everybody loves them cakes. Okay. It's so pretty. Another modern, inclusive deck for the community. Very, very easy to read with. I love the bright colors. I'm very into, as you can tell, very into bright colors and using all of the crayons, using all of the pencils, all of the paint. I have a pretty bright wardrobe. I have a lot of black as well, but I love wearing lots of bright colors, as you probably have all seen from my channel. And it is really gorgeous. The cardstock is very, very lovely. But of course, we had to have this fantastic queer deck in this Pride list. What a stunning temperance card. I actually really want that whole fit. Love the diversity in body types. Just absolutely love that, because there's also not a ton of that. I love that we've got people with tattoos, with different hair, very, you know, androgynous or non-binary. You know, that's very important, because we all look different, and that's okay, and we all look human, right? I mean, some of us look very otherworldly, but we're all human. We all have lumps and bumps and scars and something about us we probably would like to fix if we could. So I love seeing this very human representation of body types and inclusivity. So the book has the information. It also has the model and their pronouns, which is amazing, and then the reverse and things to consider. So there's quite a bit in here as well, which I think is quite fabulous. And art descriptions. So this would be such a perfect deck. I would give this to someone who is queer identifying and who would like a deck to work with on their journey, especially for newbies. I think this is perfect. This is a brand new deck in my collection. It's Tarot for You and Me, and this is by Gary DeAndre and illustrated by Jess Vosterig. I'm probably saying that wrong again, forgive my dyslexia. And I just received this, so this is all in order, but how can I not include this deck? I love the backs. It's standard tarot size, and it is mass market, so it's going to be really easy for you to find in your, you know, your stores. So the Bruja, I love Queer Joy, and as you can see, it's absolutely perfect for pride, for inclusivity. I do a lot of pride events. Usually I've just got a really busy year this year going elsewhere, but usually here I do pride. The house mother, yes queen, the house father. Oh, and if you haven't watched Legendary on, well, we have it here on Crave in Canada. You absolutely should, because it is amazing. The Grand Dame. It's all about ballroom and the ballroom scene, and it is phenomenal. It's actually where I fell in love with Megan Thee Stallion, or you guys call it, I guess, Megan Thee Stallion, but that's where I fell in love with her, because she's on that show as a judge, and incredible. The Wise One. So you can see that the titles have been changed, the winds of change. Something we all need right now. I don't mind that they've been changed. I would have kept them, but I understand why this being an inclusive, very queer-esque deck, well, it is a queer deck, is changed, has been changed. And for maybe a lot of people who come to the tarot and come to mysticism and come to those spaces after having family that they're born into or religious trauma, I understand that some of the very Abrahamic and Christian themes of the Rider-Waite-Smith particularly can be very triggering. So I understand why that was perfect to kind of change that. As you can see, we move into the minor. Some of them are more minimalistic, not always my favorite. As you know, I prefer to, you know, take a little bit of more time and put people in there, but what are you gonna do? So we have the child, the sibling, Anidra, Wacha, queen, and elder of each suit, and we have chalices. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, otherwise we'll be here all day for cups. And then plants, because, you know, who's not a good gay without a whole bunch of plants? For, I'm going to say pentacles. Okay. And then we have flags. as wands, swords, they're swords, flags are swords. Beautiful. And then we head to the book, and the book is chonkish. That is a very, very chunky guidebook. So you're getting quite a lot of information. This small print, but look how much information you're getting here. So you got upright, and then you've got reversed. So there's stacks in here, which is fantastic for anyone who's bringing, who's coming to the tarot maybe for the first time with this deck. But yeah, just some simple stuff at the beginning. But the tarot for you and me, I mean, it's a very targeted at the queer community, and of course it was going to be on this list. The Urban Tarot is by Robin Scott, and this is actually celebrating its 10-year anniversary this year. This is the indie edition. I backed this on Kickstarter when it was in 2015. My gosh, I feel old. All those many moons ago. And so I have the big indie edition book. And so this is, yeah, see, I got my little card back there. So this is the decking of, oh, and I also had this really cool pouch. I'm not sure if the size of the deck is the same for the mass market version, but this is like a pillar of queer inclusivity for tarot. This is based on the Thoth. I don't use the Thoth a lot, but I'm 100% here for this deck always. It's very treasured. It's not going anywhere from my collection, and I do know how to work and read with it. As you can see, it's very modern. We have archetypes for the court cards in the same structure as the Thoth. I love that she's the public defender. So very easy to read with, and it has the keywords as well for the cards like the Thoth does. Beautiful, beautiful. And I love that there's that nod to the Rider-Waite-Smith in the back there, but it does follow the Thoth structure. It is a wonderfully radical deck. I mean, this deck was doing the work 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, this is a absolute knockout pillar of, as I mentioned, of queer inclusivity. So here, as you can see, this is Justice is 8, and then the Hermit will be 11. This deck shows us the modern world and our living archetypes of the tarot in the modern world through inclusivity. So it's not medieval anything, you know. We can all relate to these pictures in one way, shape or form, and what has been shown in this incredible deck. So that is the Urban Tarot, celebrating its 10th year, and always a classic and a must for, I think, every tarot student, but especially those of us in the rainbow community. The Lebano Tarot by E. Lebano. I know that so many people are excited that this amazing deck is going to be published by Llewellyn, and it's coming out in October this year. This is the indie version. I backed this on Kickstarter. So a fully illustrated 78 card tarot deck exploring the surreal, the intense, the queer and the divine. So, I mean, hello. So I'm not sure if we're going to get a big box. I'm definitely going to get a copy of the deck once it comes out with Llewellyn, because then I can retire this one, pop this away. So I'm very careful with my independent decks. This is such a beautiful deck. It's a little bit darker in aesthetic, like it's a very black centric deck in the imagery. So Hopefully it's very overcast today, but hopefully you can see enough of it. But it is so sublime. So, so gorgeous. I love this art style. I have not studied art history. I don't really understand like references if you're like, oh, this is influenced by such and such, but I do know what I like. And this is gorgeous. This kind of reminds me of some of the gaming style illustrations from, there was a Dragon Age Inquisition tarot deck. It kind of reminds me of that, which I never got my hands on, and I'm a bit freaking bummed about that. Oh, look at that Hierophant card. Stop. Oh, it's so beautiful. Like there's so much in that, you know, like I really want to converse with that Hierophant card. I'm kind of scared of it too. The masks, the mask there, the crown, the eye, you know, this can also be seen as like a bit Eye of Saruman kind of thing. Then all of these hands doing different things. It's just, yeah, really beautiful. I can understand why a lot of people were desperate to get a hold of this deck when it wasn't in print and it was only indie. And I also understand when people, they want decks to go indie, and I get it because I can be the same way, but I also understand that because I have had published works and I have done things myself, I realize the huge discrepancy in what you are able to earn as far as a living goes. So it's nice when independent creators can do independent work and then have it published. So gorgeous. Such a beautiful deck. You can get I think you can pre-order this one now. So beautiful, beautiful, perfect for Pride. The Numinous Tarot is by Cedar McLeod, and I have a first edition, I believe, from the Kickstarter many moons ago, and this is a beautiful deck. I believe that there's a different edition now. So there's a huge guidebook for this incredible creator and their deck, and there is also a oracle deck which I didn't include in the list technically because I was just doing tarot, but the Threadbound Oracle, there are so if you go to Numinous Spirit, there's also a Kickstarter on right now for all of the novels that a lot of these characters come from. And look how this is like a little, okay, really didn't mean to like bring the oracle deck in, but isn't it just gorgeous? Honestly, really beautiful. So this is incredible as well. So I have that as well from Cedar. I haven't seen the other editions. Beautiful backs and gold. This is a really beautiful deck, and it's so inclusive. It's so beautifully done. Like you can tell all of the textures in this watercolor art, and Cedar was showing how they were creating these cards all the way through the creation. Oh, there's also a kitchen, another deck that Cedar's done. It's otherworldly, but it's human. It's inclusive and unabashedly celebrates humanness. You know, like we are all in this together. We are all a part of this community, this tapestry that weaves us all into existence, and we all blink out, you know, the same. So I love that there is just so much love in this. I love the very Pacific Northwest-esque fashion in here, as someone who is living in the Pacific Northwest in Vancouver, Canada. And I've actually met Cedar. It was a very long time ago, and still a hugely wonderful experience meeting Cedar. I mean, come on. Just stunning. I love, love, love this deck. One of the things I've really enjoyed about finally doing this tag, well, not tag, but finally doing this topic, which has been on my list for years, is getting these decks out again and reconnecting with some of my beloved decks that have been on my shelves for many a year. So I believe I have a walkthrough of this on my channel where you can see all the cards, but that is the Numinous Tarot. And I mean, talk about celebrating beautiful queer inclusivity. Look at that, what a perfect, I have the sticker of this back from the day it's on my iPad, the lovers, and how we, you know, we choose our family and we choose those we spend our time with. So stunning deck for Pride. Anyone who knows me knows that I am freaking obsessed with RuPaul's Drag Race and drag in general. Support your local drag performers, support your local drag scene. Drag is political, drag is rebellion, drag is beautiful, and we are all born naked and the rest is drag. It is a superpower, and I had to kick this list off with my Fortune Queens. This is the first edition and this is the second edition. They are both by the incredibly talented, I'm going to butcher this because of my dyslexia, Juano Cristiani, or Enjoy My Cake. I think I said that right. And they're actually working on a Lady Gaga tarot. I'm so excited. They have a Coraline one. There's the Mean Girls Oracle. They're very, very talented. So you get the boxes, which are so fabulous. And there are booklets for each one, but where the real magic is in the cards. I love everything about Drag Race. I think that they are all so talented, and one of the amazing things about the tarot and drag, and this was actually where one of my Your Tarot Court exercises started, was, oh my god, one of my favorite Trixie Mattel outfits of all time was actually about tarot drag. Bibi Zahara Benet, that dance was so amazing. Is at the intersection of fashion and creativity and makeup and artistry. Vanjie never looks so beautiful, and I love her so much. And the fact that in many decks we see an incredible sort of I guess culmination, or the same parts, so great, Tatiana, intersection of culture, what is reflected around culture and fashion, and you know what we present to the world. This is our drag, this is, you know, how we, you know, all makeup, everything, it's all drag. Oh, that Freddy Krueger by Crystal and Shanji, I know every queen in here. I know every moment in here. The voice of Lady Bunny, you know. So it's something that I love. It's one of my shows that I put on to just watch in the background and have on if I need a little bit of fabulousness. Oh my goodness, so beautiful. And I recommend, if you haven't watched Drag Race, you absolutely should, Jasmine, because it's incredible. And again, go see your, I'd like to keep it on please, go see your local performers. But this is a deck that these decks are decks that are treasured in my collection. Amazing Courtney Act, and they are definitely decks to be celebrated with for Pride. This beautiful, intelligent, talented person, Eric, created such an amazing deck, the Ink Witch Tarot. And the guidebook is, I mean, there's so much in this guidebook. It is an incredible resource on its own. I have done a full walkthrough of this deck on my channel and the other decks from Eric. So go check it out if you want to. Just such a great book. Beautiful backs. I love all of Eric's work. What I adore is we've got all of these lovers cards. And if this doesn't scream inclusivity, I don't know what does. We have the devil, we have a few. Now these are just the extra cards. This is not just the cards that were in the deck itself. But isn't it beautiful? There's another devil. Or maybe that was the same. This deck is really easy to read with. I love the muted tones of this deck. It's modern but deep and mystical as well. It is a really great deck and something that is incredibly inclusive and so important when you're looking for decks for pride or for queer occasions or when you're reading for people in general. And I highly recommend you go and check out the rest of Eric's decks and the other video I have where I go through like the Endless Oracle as well, because it's really gorgeous. So that is the Ink Witch Tarot. Mother Tarot is a beautiful deck by Ren McMurdo Brignac, and I adore this deck so much. I have all of Ren's decks. This one makes me so fucking happy. It's a square deck. It's so bright. It's so beautiful. It makes me so happy. So this is so inclusive. I love that you can do bigger spreads with this deck. So if one of my favorite Nine of Cups, when working with some decks, you know, it gets a little big. Your spreads can get really big. This is the perfect deck for larger spreads because they're smaller. They're just so pretty. Look at the deck. I love the artwork. The colors just make me so happy. These pastel vibes. I have done a walkthrough of Ren's other decks from Spirit Speak if you have a look on my channel. Such a great devil card. It's a deck that I love to use, especially for readings for myself, because it gets me to think outside of my regular scheduled programming, just like the things that I already know about the cards. Oh, it's just so beautiful. I love this Emperor sitting still on stone, but in nature, you know. Beautiful Chariot card. Very body inclusive, very real, very connected to the sacred feminine, which is another aspect of, I mean, look at that World card, of ourselves that we need to heal. And it's just one of those decks where I can't not recommend it to most people, but definitely for pride. Just gorgeous. So that is Mother Tarot, and the guidebook is in color as well. So it's not going to be a dissertation on the tarot, but it's enough to help you dive into it. The Fodor Palof Tarot is quite simply divine. This is the US Games Systems version. which I adore. I have the indie edition. I did back this on Kickstarter, but I'm so glad I have this edition too, because then I can put my indie edition away. US Games did such a good job with their production. They do such a great job with the cardstock and just like everything. Love the backs, very simple. Now the gold is gorgeous. This has a linen finish, which I adore. This is like modern, but not modern, parchment artwork come to life. It's so beautiful. I was not surprised whatsoever that the Kickstarter was so successful, and then wasn't surprised whatsoever that the deck got picked up by US Game Systems. I'm so glad that it did, because so many people now can have this in their hands. It's just gorgeous. This reads so easily. I've read with this many times. Really easy to read with, and I love the pop of color. I love that we've only got, you know, in here we've got some blues, but the majority of it is black, white, and that cream, that parchment color. It really makes the color pop. It's done really beautifully, very strategically, and the illustrations themselves are just gorgeous. The perfect deck for, I mean, honestly, like any time, but I love this for Pride and for celebrating that time of year. I mean, look at this deck. It is so beautiful. Just gorgeous. So if you have not checked out this deck, I highly recommend you do. He reminds me of Gilderoy Lockhart. Like, look at this, the art and everything. Oh, it's just so pretty. Just gorgeous. Look at that world card. She's so beautiful. Very inclusive. I love that we have a more masculine looking angel in Temperance, which is really fun. Love that moon card. One of my favorite moon cards. Beautiful Magician. Holy heck. Gorgeous lovers. What a deck. And the guidebook is fantastic. There's so much in here. We've got footnotes, there's information about the cards, also about the artwork. Everything has been so utterly thought through. You will not be disappointed if you enjoy the art style. And yeah, it's just gorgeous. So this came out in 2022, and like a lot of decks, there's, you know, a little bit in the background, in the back of the book with spreads, etc. Amazing. And what a creator. Just, oh, I love. I would love to hear which decks you have in your collection, and if you've read with any of them, or if you love reading with any of them. Love to hear if you're celebrating Pride this year, and if you are unable to do that because of safety reasons. I love you, I see you, I support you. Your queerness, your identity, your love, and the love that you should have for yourself is not marked by how out of the closet you are or how active you are in a community. Remember to take care of yourself first. Always reach out if you need help. There is nothing at all wrong or bad about you or weak about needing support. We all need support at times. You are so loved. Even if we've never met, you are so loved. And if you ever need any support, you can come and find me on my socials, and I'll send you a big virtual hug. I'm sending you one right now. Please, if you can too, say a little hello in the comments and like this video, especially because it is queer content. It's going to be harder for me to reach people. So if you could do that, it will really help my channel, and it'll also let this video find other rainbow unicorns and beautiful amazing dolls all the way through the tarot world. And I will see you all next time.